All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Growth by Shawn podcast. So, today I am going over Josh Painter's book, Best Version Ever. So, Josh and I had done a podcast together where we had dived into a little bit about Josh's story and his book, Best Version Ever. Discover the magic of becoming extraordinary. The thing that I really love about Josh is that he takes action steps, okay? We all have these big, ginormous goals, but the thing is, without the action steps, you're never going to be able to achieve the goal. So, throughout his book, he has a ton of action steps and journal prompts where you can really map out what you want to do. So, I'm going to dive into a lot of the notes that I took throughout the book. It was a super easy read, maybe 150 pages or so. So, the first thing that he starts to touch on is meditation, where close your eyes and begin to notice everything. This is just becoming more aware of everything. We're so unaware of everything that we're doing throughout the day, all these mundane tasks. We just go through it because they're built into our subconscious. Think about driving. When was the last time you really thought and noticed driving? Sometimes you can go, I'll go on a drive and all of a sudden I'm there and I'm like, what? How did I get here? A little scary, okay, at times, but we've done these acts over and over and over and over and over, and they are into your subconscious. So he talks about what am I seeing, hearing, feeling, and then whatever those are, just let them go. So life is a creation of calculated risks. So he talks about the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect is where we all care so much about our own flaws. Okay? In a group photo, your hair is messed up. You think the photo is awful, but no one else notices. No one notices our flaws because they're focused on their own. Think about the analogy of when you had a pimple in middle school or high school or now, whatever. So we're all so focused on our own pimple, but really no one cares. Someone may see it for a second and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, whatever, he's got a pimple, you know. We're so focused on our pimples, but the thing is, everyone else is focused on their own. Okay, then he talks about loss aversion, where we fear loss more than we celebrate gain. Okay, this comes into just celebrating wins. This stuck with me. This is the youngest you will ever be. At this exact moment in time when you're listening to this podcast, whether you're in the car or on a walk or playing it on the surround sound, this is the youngest you're ever going to be. He then goes in to talk about legacy. So, does your name need to be remembered by people who will never know you? Or do you want to impact the people you know today? When we talk about legacy, the thing is, in 100 years, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter. You're not going to matter. You're not going to matter in 100 years, okay? Think about some of the most important people in the world, okay? Or even some of the people that you think are important. The thing is, when they're dead, how often do you think of them? I loved Michael Jackson growing up, but how often do I think about Michael Jackson on a daily basis? Not really. So when you are focused on impacting the people that you know today as opposed to all the other people, it really puts into perspective how much of an impact you can actually make. So visualize and play out your goals as if they're happening. Think about the podcast that I did with Billy G, where you pull the future into the present as opposed to pulling the past into the present. In order to become the person that you want to become, you have to become that person today. It doesn't mean that everything happens all today, but you need to become that person today, okay? Your words and ideas are magic. Oh baby, I love the language game. So the thing is with your words, they're spells. A spell, Webster's dictionary, is a group of words of great influence. That's what a spell is. You think magic, you think a witch casting a spell, but no, it's just a group of words of great influence. So whether you're talking poorly about yourself or whether you are talking um, very prestigiously about yourself, those words are casting a spell. We don't practice writing them down, okay? We don't. I believe it's 50% of the words that we write down, we will remember. It's only 30% of the things that we hear you're going to remember, and 80% of the things we teach you will remember. So if you want to remember more things, one, write them down. If you want them to be brought to the front of your mind, write them down, and then go learn about them and teach them, okay? There is nothing more significant about tomorrow than today. How often have you said, oh, I'm going to do this tomorrow? For me, I mean, I have a lot going on right now. It's 10 p.m. and I'm recording this podcast. I'm sitting here in my room by myself recording a podcast, okay? Because there's nothing more important than this moment today. I could say I'm going to do it tomorrow, but the thing is, tomorrow, I have other stuff that needs to be done, all right? I need to do this today. There's nothing more important than today. So goals you may pursue: mind, spirit, health, relationships, adventure, work, finance. It doesn't matter what these goals are, but make them specific. It will happen when they're specific. If they're not, they will not happen, okay? I want more money, okay? Or I want $1 million, okay? $1 million, you can create a system and steps where you can go and obtain $1 million and make $1 million. If you just want more money, if you get paid on Friday, bam, you have more money, okay? Like, is that really the goal that you want to set? So he talks about how we become too distracted. Social media, phone, trash duty, it can all take us away from our goals. It's important to set monthly, weekly, daily goals. Work backwards. Figure out the goal, create steps on how to obtain that goal, okay? He also talks about creating your idea schedule. When do you work best? In the morning, at nighttime, okay? Then he had a journaling prompt of reflection. What did I do well today? What could have gone better? What do I need to prioritize tomorrow? So as you're listening to this, make an agreement with yourself and say, tonight, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit on the couch and watch TV and let this next hour, 2 hours, 3 hours go by? Or am I going to go and reflect on the day, see what I can improve on tomorrow, make it a priority, and then tomorrow I have a plan? Instead of just waking up and being like, oh, well, time to hit snooze. No, that doesn't have to happen. When you don't have goals and a game plan for the day, why would you wake up? What is getting you out of bed in the morning, okay? So create a list of daily non-negotiables to do. For me, this is like my core values. I have a list that I do. 3 months ago, for me, I started getting into the ice baths, cold showers, okay? What happened was I would write on a piece of paper, cold shower, and I would, Sunday through Saturday. Sunday, I would write 1 of 1. Monday, I would write 2 of 2. Wednesday, I would write 3 of 3. All right, all the way through Saturday. This went on for 2 months. Now, I don't even count it. I just know that this is part of the standard and one of my non-negotiables. So every morning I wake up and I take a cold shower. So the more that you can do that and the more habits you can create that become non-negotiables, they become a part of you, okay? You wake up and you just immediately do it. So then he talks about second book in a row to talk about how 80%, oh, I wrote this. This is the second book in a row that I have now read where 80% of our results come from 20% of the work, all right? That's it. Because It takes a lot of work to get where you want to be, but only 20% of that work is what's really going to matter. That one that one out of 100 Instagram posts that you make, one of them is going to blow up, not the other 99. Okay? So you need to continue to show up. Be willing to say no. Be willing to sacrifice. Okay? Saying yes to one thing is also saying no to something else. Saying yes to watching TV at night is also saying no to journaling and reflecting on your day. All right? So what happens is we often try to create more habits, but we can also have addition by subtraction. Okay? Cutting out some of the things that aren't serving you anymore are going to be just as impactful as when you add new things, because when you take things away, you can replace them with the better things. All right? Here's another journal prompt for you. What would you try if you knew success would be certain? All right? This is just about having certainty in yourself. So what are you so committed to that you'd give up a Friday night out with friends? What can you commit to for the next 10 years? This is a very deep dive on, I want to know my purpose and my passion and all these things, but if it's as simple as helping others, then figure out a way to help someone every single day. And over 10 years, you'll have a way to impact 10,000 people if that's your goal. Okay? Another journal prompt. I love the journal prompts that he has, and I love the action steps that he has. That's why I wrote so many of them down. So, who is doing exactly what I want to do, and how could I imitate that? This I like, but I also hate. I'm 50-50 on that, and I'll go into why in just a moment. Where can I shop or read reviews related to the skill that I want? Where can I join groups? What videos can I watch? Basically, you want to submerge yourself into this. If you have a dying desire to be a professional baseball player, okay, something I know nothing about. But if you have this burning desire to be a baseball player, maybe you have that 1% skill that will get you there, okay, and the 1% work ethic that will get you there, but maybe you don't. But the more that you can submerge yourself in it, the more that other avenues will open up for yourself, okay? So maybe you aren't the best baseball player in the world, but maybe you go and play overseas. Maybe you end up as a coach, okay? You need to try different things and submerge yourself into the things that you enjoy. So who is doing exactly what I want, and how could I imitate that? That's a good thing to do, okay? But at the same time, you need to write your own story. If you're just trying to imitate someone else, that story has already been written, okay, by them. If you try to do every single thing that they do, you're never gonna end up where you are supposed to be and where you want to be. He then also talks about mentorship and how important it is because of a world of endless information, okay? Mentors are a two-way communication system. You have to actively learn instead of passively learn. This means that you need to go and actually do things. We have this bombardment of information right now, but the thing is, we need to take that information and actually do something with it. When you're talking with someone, how often have you caught yourself in terms of, I'm having a conversation with you, and as soon as I'm done, or even before I'm done, all you're trying to do is, and all you're thinking about is waiting for me to be done so that you can say your piece. Instead, actively listen to what they're saying, make sure you breathe low and slow, and then you will be able to take things, okay, from what they have said and relate it back to the conversation, instead of just having this one silly little thing that's all about you that you just want to get out. You don't even know what they ended up saying. So we make decisions all day. We also create habits all day. We have triggers. We go into the car. It triggers us to put on our seatbelt. We select a song. We select a podcast. We get out of bed. We immediately reach for our phone. Once you create a routine, they become habits. There's less decision fatigue, okay? How often you get up, there is something to be said about decision fatigue, okay? The more that you can create good habits instead of bad habits will activate less decision fatigue. We only have so much capacity and capability to make decisions throughout the day. Think about when you get home from work and how tired and exhausted you are, and you just want to lay on the couch and do nothing, okay? You've exhausted a lot of those decisions that you make, and you end up making poor decisions. When was the last time that you came home and instead of eating a healthy meal, you ordered takeout because you don't know what to eat? Okay, if you've already decided what you're going to eat and you've already held yourself to a standard of what you're going to eat, it's going to be easier because you don't have to make that decision. If you've planned out your meals for the week, once that night comes, then you don't have to make that decision. It's a non-negotiable. You already know what you're going to have. Now, this isn't me taking away from, oh, it's Friday night, me and the wifey are going to go out and have fun, like, or take away from your spontaneity, I should say. But the thing is, when you have goals, okay, you need to hold yourself to certain standards. So he then goes into establishing habits. You need to set up your environment so that it would be impossible not to do the task. You need to stack habits. You need to combine a have to do with a want to do, and you have to remove distractions. This is a reason why I ended up moving my computer out of my room and into a separate room, okay? That's where the room where I sleep and the room where I work are different, okay? This creates more of an environment for me to go and do as much work as I can without the distractions of being in my room and saying, oh, well, I got this is on my whiteboard, this, okay? Use people, pleasure, and pain as motivation, okay? This is a topic that can be difficult because a lot of us only want to go from a place of abundance as a place of lack. But you can change because you hate your situation so much. If you're sitting there comfortable, you may have you might have a desire to change, but you don't have a real reason to change. If you hate where you're at so much that you will do anything to get out of it, then that is coming from a place of pain as motivation. And you can use the same thing as pleasure. Something big happens and you want it to happen again. You want it to happen more, okay? Pleasure, you can have external and internal rewards. Pain can be money, okay? Pay for an expensive gym, all right? If you're paying $10 a month at Planet Fitness, how often are you going to go to Planet Fitness? You may not be that interested if you're not interested in the gym, all right? You're like, yeah, $10 a month, whatever. You know, you skip the whole month, well, it was only $10. $200 a month. This is why coaches, people end up having such great results with coaches. One, for the coach, but two, it can be because of the financial investment. There's a pain. You need to go and have something where if you're not utilizing it to its full capacity, it becomes a waste. Some people don't have $200 to go and spend on the gym, or $400 a month, $1,000 a month on a coaching session, okay? But if you use that pain, you can say, I'm going to get the most out of this that I can, all right? For your diet, it can be the pain of being unhealthy. You have trouble getting up and out of bed, all right? How sick and tired how sick and tired are you of not having the energy to get up and out of bed, okay? How sick and tired of you are you? I keep saying of you, but how sick and tired are you of not having energy? Don't you want more energy to be able to do more things? Diet and exercise, okay? So you must be authentic. If you're not being you, you will never reach your best version ever. This is 100%. Because you can fake it for a long time, but if you're not being true to yourself, it's going to die out. It's just like motivation. People think that they want to be some big, huge bodybuilder and everything, but really they just saw someone else on Instagram and how cool it looked, and then that's not actually what you have as a burning desire. You see the guys that are on stage that are the absolute best. They've been working at this for 10, 20 years, and they have a burning desire to be the best, okay? The guys that fall off are more of the guys that don't actually have, they try to do it for Instagram, all right? How many fucking girls just compete just for a season, just so that they can post it on Instagram? Like, grinds my gears. But you know what? If that's what you want to do, go ahead. You know, that's what you want to do. But then don't be talking that you're some big crazy bodybuilder and going through an off season when you've never even gotten on stage. What? I just get confused by it. So I'm going to round this out with a final journal prompt, okay? Write a forgiveness letter. Who do you need to forgive? What do they need forgiveness for? What are you holding on to that is holding you back? And then he said to burn the letter, all right? I hope that you were able to take a lot out of Josh's book, Best Version Ever. I definitely was able to, okay? It's about 150 pages, like I said. I'm honestly going to give this a solid 8-9. This is a really, really solid book, okay? Because it's not just a self-help book. It's a book that you can go and say, these are the action steps that I can take. This is how I can design my life. This is a step. This is the mountain up here that I'm trying to climb. And this is the first brick I can lay, all right? This is the first step I can take, all right? So go take those steps and you will become your best version ever. But you need to become it today. It doesn't have to show up in the external, but it has to be you. You have to take the steps, okay? I hope you guys found some value in this. Please like, share, comment, YouTube, whatever streaming platform. Make sure you give me a review. Make sure you give me 5 stars. What does it take? 2 seconds? You know? Hey, Shawn, love the podcast. Thanks. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. We'll catch you next time.